Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. I'm speaking on behalf of the Love Government. This is the third episode in 52 episodes called Sex Cards. These cards are in front of me here. I'm going to be talking about them. There's more information at the website, the Love Government website, and much more information in the book, which is in the website. We're focusing here on sex cards and on sexuality as the crux of our problems in society and as individuals. Sex is at the very center of love. Love is where we're going, and sex is an integral part of love. So that's why we're focusing on sex as the Love Government interprets it in terms of a love culture. And then we interpret these cards also in terms of that type of reference point. We're on the third card here. This is called the Lover. That's the cover word for everything. Lover 3 is 3 of 52 cards. We're on the suit of number in the card game, and the first column in the house here, the temple. So we went 1, 2, we're up to 3, and we're going through up to 7. 7 is an infinity number. So what we're saying is we're starting off with numbers, mathematics, order, structure, getting our ducks lined up in a row so we know where we came from and where we're going, and therefore who we are. Now we can't know any of that unless we have a deep understanding and we have a big picture, a panoramic view of things. It's like Google Earth. You can see the Earth because you see the big picture. You know right away the Earth is not flat because you got the big picture. And so we need to get the big picture if we're going to understand ourselves and know how to act, how to deal with ourselves, to solve our problems. You can probably hear the wind blowing. The wind is blowing. As the poet said, there's something blowing in the wind. Things are being stirred up. So the Love Government stirs things up. Our culture is like muddy water. And the mud's mostly on the bottom, but we stir it up when we're looking to clean up. We're cleaning things up as we go. And these cards are cleaning cards in that sense. So here we are, the third card out of 52, and it looks like this on the positive side. It's called 3 virtues, and the negative side is called 3 vices, or 3 graces. They are called graces. And what's being portrayed is there's a dance going on. 3 women are dancing in a garden scene, holding up cups, and there's harvest, there's vegetables, fruit, and they're dancing in a garden. This is portraying what the love culture is about, and we're founded on the love culture. There's freedom, there's dancing, and there's a community in the love culture, a community of women who are the carriers of love. They're the bearers of the children, the bearers of the babies. They carry the baby in their bellies. And the women are holding up their cups, which is they're holding up their sexuality. The cup is a feminine symbol, it's a woman symbol, as opposed to these swords down here. This is a phallic symbol. Cup is a feminine symbol because of her body formation. Her lap is a cup, her vagina is a cup, her vulva is a cup. Her whole body is kind of a cup. So they're portraying that. These are women from the love culture. And we're kind of like inviting them in here as we talk, downloading them. The love government does that. We invite the lovers from all dimensions of time, number, and space to come in, help us out. We're in trouble. So that's what they're doing through these cards. They're portraying and giving us information. And they're dancing, so they're portraying the very essence of the love culture, which is woman focal, with the men helping, kind of assisting. They're dancing with each other, doing a sexual dance. We have a lot of dances in our culture, but they stop for the most part. They draw the line when it gets too sexual. And then the thought police and the guardians of our society say, no, you don't cross that line unless you're doing it in private. But this was not done in private. This was an open, communal society of small groups of all ages and so on. It was not privatized. There wasn't all the guilt and shame that we have. So in our society, we draw very strict lines when it comes to sexuality. And as well we should, because sex has become violent under the power over system of patriarchy. It's boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know, that kind of thing. We've lost touch with this graceful flowing motion. So the women of the culture were in tune with all around us. It was a natural scene, you know, the tropics, wore little clothes. They didn't have to work, no police, no army, no jobs, no money. What did they do all the time? Go out and pick the fruit out in the fruit trees and dig up some roots, eat some leaves, berries, seeds, nuts. What did the people do all the time? Good question, huh? They made love with each other. They were loving, you know, affectionate. Not just genital love, but general love. General sex. And always gentle sex. They were gentlemen and gentle women. Very powerful and very strong, but gentle. Gentlemen, gentle women. So these three dancing graces here are portraying the three stages of a mature woman's sex life. Maiden, mother, and matron. Those are the three stages of a woman's life. And it was all very beautiful, pleasant, and all about pleasure and joy and happiness. So this is the core of the culture, this woman's circle. Now the question arises, how intimate were the women with each other? Very intimate. Did they have sex with each other? Yes, of course they had sex with each other, if it was appropriate and well governed. They also had sex with the men. It was open, I think. I get what I get from my own reasoning, reading, etc. I think, you know, men had sex with men, women with women, and with each other. It was a matrilineal culture, which means that the mother knew who her son was, but she may not have known who the father was. If she had sex with more than one man, sometimes maybe she had one special person. Not necessarily. She could have sex with 2, 3, or 4. But it didn't matter in that culture. It was matrilineal, not patrilineal. Big difference. Big difference. When the woman stayed, the daughter stayed with her mother. She wasn't torn out of that society and made to go live with her in-laws. That's patrilineal system. A very cruel system, by the way. But it's all part of the anti-love culture, which we should know about. So these ladies are dancing in the garden. Now, the jealous men are called patriarchs. And they didn't like this system because they felt jealous and they felt left out. Now, a real man at that time, a real woodman, had all the sex he could possibly want. Because as we get into later, women have a far greater sexual capacity than men, probably 4 or 5 to 1. Just counting the nerve endings in their sexual apparatus. So jealous men hated this system, and they still do. That's the problem. They still hate this system, where it's woman-centered. And there you get to this. This is the vices. The three vices are the three swords of patriarchy, which are power, profit, and porn. Power over, bam, bam, bam. You do what I say, or, the gun, or the spear, or the sword. It's power over. And porn is objectifying people, persons, and making them objects for sale. And then profit, of course. If there's no profit in it, why do it? So in the love culture, there was none of that, You're in it for the love, in it for the money, in it for the pleasure. Not the money. I misspoke. So what are we doing here? Why do we come here? For one reason, what I can see is one reason. To learn to love. Learn to love. Learn what love is all about. That's the only reason we're here. Not to make money. Not to get the most toys by the time we die. Not to escape to money heaven or a God heaven or a consumer heaven. No, none of that. We're only here for one purpose, and that is for love. Now, that is my point of view. That's a love, and I'm speaking for the love government. That's not everybody's point of view. In fact, there may not be anybody out there, other than myself, who see things quite that way. So I'm presenting things that are going against the culture, counter-cultural. But what our culture is producing is this. This is war. This is torture. This is suffering. This is killing. And it's all glossed over, lied about. We're manipulated, and we're lulled into thinking it's the best we can do. And so some of us are better off than others. But for the sake of those millions of people who are suffering and dying needlessly and cruelly, living under horrible conditions, something needs to be done. If we want to be true lovers, if we claim to be true lovers, you can't let this stuff go on and not do anything if you have an ability to do something about it. And so that's the story of why we're doing this. We're going to make a difference. We need to make a difference. And a difference is a difference. A difference is not the same old, same old. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over, thinking you're going to get a different result. That's crazy. So I'm going to bring this to a close again with the love sign. High five. This is a love sign, by the way. Love sign. The love government wishes you love and is presenting information that may be difficult, strange, and uncomfortable. But that's all right. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that, because we're stirring things up and we're taking into account both sides of reality, the vices as well as the virtues. But we don't need to fear. If we have love surrounding us, there's nothing to fear. Not as long as love is here. Thank you.